Section 22.1, page 331, question 2. It says, calculate the angles marked with your X in all these diagrams. We're still playing with the sine rule. Now, look at what we've got. We have got X, angle X, which is opposite the side of 8 centimeters long, and angle 45 is opposite the side of 6 centimeters long. Now this time I'm working out an angle and not a side. So let's get the angle that we want on top, rather than before on the previous video where we put the side that we want on top. Remember, so let's just try and do this then. So I want angle X, so let's just start by going the sine of angle X divided by his opposite side, 8 centimeters. It's just like comparing the sine of angle 45 divided by degrees divided by the length 6 centimeters, which is opposite him. Right, it's just to study that. Instead of going length over sine angle equals length over sine angle, we're saying sine angle over length equals sine of the angle over his length. So we're taking these two fractions and doing this to it. Can you see? So we take the fraction, tops, bottoms, and just flipping it over like that, and they'll still be equivalent. It makes sense. So to get sine of X, I just simply take the 8 over next door and multiply. So I've got sine X equals the sine of 45. I'll talk to my calculator about that. Divide it by 6 and then multiply it by 8. So let's just ask the calculator what the sine of angle X is. Right, so I've got sine 45 divided by 6 and then times by 8 equals, well, I've got all this lovely stuff here. It's 0.942809041. That'll do. So how do we go from a sine of an angle to the angle? We just go shift sine. So therefore the angle itself is going to be shift sine of that, and that gives me 70.5 to 70.53. How about just 70.5 degrees? Easy, isn't it? Alright, so remember, the final answer is not the sine of the angle, but the actual angle itself. So you have to remember to go, remember, shift sine. Right, so you press. So from this point you go meow, shift sine, then you get your answer. So 2 more to do then in this video. We'll try and make it fit here, otherwise my face will get in the way. So let's just do the next one then. Same sort of thing, nothing different here. I've got the 68 degrees linking with the 9 centimeters opposite, and the X degrees linking with the 7 centimeters opposite. Now I want X again, so that's the angle I want. Let's try and write smaller. So sine of angle X is going to be, sine of angle X divided by his length of 7, opposite length that is, equals the sine of 68 degrees divided by the length opposite, which is 9. So take the 7 over and multiply. Sine of mystery X is going to be sine 68 over 9 times 7. Let's just get an answer quickly. So sin 68 divided by 9 times by 7 gives me 0.7211429998. Now, may as well write it all, doesn't hurt. And then the punchline is therefore the angle itself, we're now going to shift sine it. Now, clearly you can't work out an angle from that all by yourself by doing a calculation. You just press the right buttons on your calculator. Here I go, shift sine, bam. And of course, if you get the right answer, the examiner knows you press the right buttons, you'll get your mark. So I've got 46.148, 46.1 degrees, good enough. And I'll do the last one here and I'll make it fit. So what do we got? Let's just dissect this. I've got the 112 and the 11. They go together, and I've now got to find that and that. No, that goes with the 7. It's just so sharp I can't see it. So X goes with 7 and 112 goes with 11. So let's just set it up again. Right, so the sine of what I want, X, divided by his opposite length, which is 7 centimeters, is just like getting the comparison right between the sine of 112 degrees divided by his opposite length, 11 centimeters. You take the 7 over and multiply. So sine x is going to be the sine of 112 degrees all over 11, and then of course you multiply by 7, and that's going to give us something. So listen up. So sin 112, divide 11 and multiply by 8. No, multiply by 7, sorry. Bang, what we got? So we got 0.5900260889, who cares? So, but what I want is the actual angle itself. So the actual angle x is going to be whatever shift sign of that's going to be. So shift and sine, press equals. Again, don't bother, once you have this big long number in your calculator, don't hit cancel. I mean, just why? Because you know the next step's going to be shift sign of that number, and it's already in your calculator. 36.15, 36.2 degrees. 36.2 degrees, and that, friends, is how you find the angle, the unknown angle, in a triangle using the sine rule. And I'll stop there because there's 2 more questions to do, but I want them to stand alone because they're applications of the sine rule in unseen situations. Okay, so they're not just raw triangle questions, they're triangles. Well, you see in a minute, won't you? I'll stop now and prep the very next one.